Hello, traders, and welcome to the market opening preview on a Thursday, June 9th, 2016. Traders coming to you live from Thailand. Bright blue, sunny skies, white sandy beaches, and very warm. Traders is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, it's great to be with you on a Thursday as we start to approach the end of our trading week. It's been quite an eventful week, I have to say, even though the data releases were pretty minimal. But price action's been pretty different. I guess that's a good word for it, different. Traders, let me introduce myself to you, and then we'll get started. We got a lot to talk about data, and got 6 currency pairs to look at. My name is William Gilda. I'm your moderator for the Market Opening Preview Series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I will let you know that I do record this during the Asia session. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, and in 2008 I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic, and 9 days later came to Thailand for 3 months. Well, traders, I'm in my 9th year trading and living in Asia and absolutely loving it. Traders, I'm a pullback trader, and what I do is I listen to fundamentals quite a bit. I pay for a news feed, and it's just beneficial to know what's going on around the globe and when stuff's coming out and when it's not coming out. So it's just really important that you have a grip on your economic calendar and when stuff's happening, because it does affect us in our currency trading. However, I'm a technician. I really like analyzing charts. I love looking at candlestick patterns. It tells you a story of what's going on. Price action, price structure, price failure, significant levels in price, like the 00s, the 50s. I like the 20s and the 80s. I always watch those price levels and see if there's any kind of correlation I need to be aware of in higher time frames in my time frame that I'm trading on. And I put that all together and I come up with a trade plan. And once I activate my trade plan, I leave it. If price doesn't come to me, I don't trade that pair. We'll just go to the next one. There's 41 pairs out there, traders, that we can go to. So there's no reason you can't find a currency pair to trade. Remember, the goal in trading any instrument, because I do trade options in the New York session, is capital preservation. We want to make sure we have enough in our account so we can trade tomorrow. All right, traders, that's enough about me. Let's get to the legal stuff. And this is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, most importantly, like I said, capital preservation is a key, so please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's get a move on. Get over here to news and commentary. How did the markets close? Well, the U.S. markets closed on an upbeat yesterday. The Dow 30 closed positive 0.37%. The S&P 500 closed positive 0.33%. The NASDAQ closed positive 0.26%. And the small cap 2000 closed positive 0.75%. Traders, let's head on over to the Eurozone. The DAX closed negative 0.69%, with the FTSE 100 out of London closing positive at 0.27%. However, the CAC 40 in Paris was negative 0.61%. The Euro Stoxx 50 was negative 0.78%. Traders, let's come on over to Asia. Remember, some of these countries are not trading yet. Well, no, they should all be up and running by now. But the Nikkei 225 is negative 0.75%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is negative 0.33%. The China A50 is negative 0.26%. And the Hang Seng out of Hong Kong is negative 0.14%. With the Kospi out of Seoul currently trading positive 0.14%. Traders, let's take a look at the economic calendar today. We did have some data come out earlier today, as the RBNZ, the Royal Bank of New Zealand, did not cut their interest rate today, which was a surprise. I think the markets were expecting them to make a cut today, and they did not make a cut. And at this moment, RBNZ Governor Wheeler is speaking. So they did not cut their interest rate, like I said, which is a surprise. So the New Zealand dollar took an up move on that data. So we'll just keep an eye on that. And we just had a release of CPI out of China, and it came out um, not too good. Consensus was negative 0.2%. It came out negative 0.5%. It's a light trading day as far as our economic calendar today. There's not a lot going on. It looks like we have ECB President Draghi speaking later on in the European session, right at the London Open. It looks like he's speaking today. And let's see, what else we got going on? Not much. Doesn't look like we got very much today. Nothing in the U.S. session. A lot of medium impact news events, but really nothing that's going to make a big difference. Out of Canada, we have BOC Governor Politz speaks today, and that is a high impact news event. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, traders. Well, I told you that the RBNZ did not change interest rates. Couple of things we need to watch for. The oil has gone up to $51.55 as of the Asia session this morning. So oil continues to climb. Gold is up, but very little. It's at 21.65, and so nothing too drastic about that. We really don't want to see oil and gold going in the same direction. That's not normal in the markets. Usually one is up and one is down. So they're not working together there. So we've got to keep an eye on that. Other than that, there's not a lot. We know that the Brexit vote is 2 weeks away from today, and the markets are pretty fragile. We had some dollar weakness yesterday in our dollar pairs, and the dollar index is at 93.88. So it's a week and a half ago it was at 95. So the dollar index has really dropped on us, and we see that across the board in our currency pairs. But the U.S. markets are very bullish, very bullish. They closed on a high yesterday, making some records and stuff for this year. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, traders, that's my commentary for today. Let's get to the charts. This is a euro dollar, and we can see that it did make a bump up there because we do have dollar weakness across the board. And then it continued sideways for the remainder of the New York session and into Asia. Now, there's a couple of things we've got to be concerned about. Now, I'm bearish on the euro dollar. I do not want this, I don't want to be buying the euro dollar because I'm bearish. That's my bias according to higher time frames and what I look at and see in the charts. The other thing is take a look at the exponential moving average. There's a lot of angle and separation, and they're all pointed to the upside, including the 10 exponential moving average, which is right underneath current price. So this trade plan that I have is for a sell, and we want to get in this at 1.1380. However, something's going to have to happen here for this to come back down and give us our entry. This doesn't look like this is going to do it today. If it is, it's going to probably be London lunch or New York open before this trade plan comes together. We want to get out at the S2 reversal pivot point at 1.1331 for a nice 50 pip trade. So we'll just have to wait and see, but we definitely need some changes here. I want to see some of these moving averages, at least go sideways, but all three are pointed up. So I don't see a sell trade happening too quickly. So we're just going to have to wait on that. Trades, let's look at the Great British Pound, US dollar. Not a light of price action at all, pretty much sideways. I am not trading the pound. I'm not trading any of the pound pairs until after this Brexit vote is completed. And, apparently not many people are trading the pound. Look at this price action that we can see over the last 2 days. Just absolutely sideways. Nothing going on here. Basically no trade zone in my book. There's nothing to do here. However, if you do want to trade it, you're looking to get in at 1.4490, and we'll take it down to 1.4375. So I'm not, like I said, I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. If the dollar gets strong today, like I said, London lunch, New York open, it's a possibility that the pound dollar could go to the downside. Traders, I would not be in like a position trade or a swing trade. I'd be scalping this. I'd be going for 10, 15 pips, and I'd be getting out. And just stay right on it and stay on your charts during your whole trade, because one comment comes out or another poll comes out, reference this referendum, we're gonna, this is gonna bounce on us. So you got to be real tight on your stops. Like I said, I wouldn't leave your computer and let this be on its own at all. So if I was gonna trade this, it's definitely a scalp where I'm gonna be right there and we'll just take whatever we can get. We get 6 pips in profit, I'll go to break even, right? This is not a pair that we're going to play with at all, any of the pound pairs. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar is bullish at the moment. I like where the price is approaching is the R2 reversal pivot point at 7,500, and I'd like to. That's a great area of resistance. So I'd like to see this turn around and come back down. So we have an entry at 75.07, 7,500. Really, I'd like to see it at 74.95. We can take this to the downside. Again, though, look at our moving averages. They're pointed to the upside. The 10 EMA is right under price. So a lot of consideration here before you get into this trade. The other thing is I did put a star next to the daily pivot. Why? Because look at what's with it, the 55 exponential moving average. But we are looking to get out at the S3 reversal pivot at 0.7390. We'll get out of this trade if it tends to work for us. But we don't have a lot of data coming out, and we know the Aussie dollar likes data and is a commodity pair, so we have to watch for that. But I do like the level that it's at this 75.07, 75.10 area. We'll just wait for it to come down a little bit, and we can take a sell trade in the Aussie dollar because my bias is bearish. Let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. Not much going on. It's playing to the downside. It has been, but it's not making any big moves. It's pretty much sideways. It's pretty much some pretty nasty price action. But again, we have the exponential moving averages pointing down, which we want. However, we need a pullback, and I need to pull back to at least the 200 exponential moving average, which is at 1.5328, and we'll get out at 1.5213. It's a nice trade plan if it works, but like I said, without any data coming out, nothing to really stimulate this currency pair, it's going to be hard to get our entry. And I'm not interested in entering a short trade at the daily pivot point. We get into support way too fast, and we just don't have enough room. So we need a nice aggressive pullback to that R2 pivot point, or the 200 exponential moving average, which is basically both at the same area. Let's take a look at the Euro Yen. The Euro Yen has really done nothing yesterday. This is yesterday's slide, by the way. You can see it came down, came back up. It's pretty nasty price action, folks. Look left to the chart. We've got it going all over the place. So I'm waiting for this to sort of like give us a clue what it wants to do. I'd like to see it really come back up to this 122.10 area, and we'll take the sell trade at the 200 exponential moving average. Well, the 121.93 is fine, but I just don't like what's left of the chart. It just doesn't look really healthy to me. The other thing you can do, traders, is you can put a trend line in there. You probably get a 3-touch trend line on the bottom there, and we can possibly break back. And if you did it using the fib line, you probably have an ascending wedge there, and we would expect that to break to the downside. So we have some opportunities here on the Euro Yen. I expect the euro to get weaker, but you just don't know. And if, like I said, these polls are going to come out and it's going to affect it. And if they're looking at an exit, the UK from the Eurozone, this yen's going to get real strong real quick. And it's going to move pretty fast, folks. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. Like I said, they did not do anything with interest rates today. They were expected to. We're expecting to see them cut interest rates. They did not do anything. They said that their inflation was where they wanted it, and their economic forecast is doing well, and everything's on hold, and they'll wait and see what happens at their next meeting. However, we opened with a gap today. You can see I put a little triangle on the chart there. So we have a gap to get filled. So I'm expecting this to come down. But again, look at your exponential moving averages. There is nothing that says that this pair wants to come to the downside. So we're at all one pivot point at the present time. We have 2 indecision candles. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it, traders. I just want to sell this. But this looks pretty scary. If you look at that 10 EMA, that is far away from price, and that's over a 3.5-hour period, and either one has not done very much to get close. So either price is going to come back to the 10 AMA, or the 10 AMA is going to continue to the upside and go up to price. So we'll just keep an eye on this. We're looking for an entry at 0.7110. We're probably like 70.95 better, and we'll take it down to 0.70 0.00 at the daily pivot point, the 55 EMA. And we also have a second take profit. If it just slides through that, we can take profit at 69.37. So we have a couple of options when to get out of the trade. The issue is when we're going to get into the trade. That's the fun part. Where are we going to get in this trade? But we do have a gap to get filled. Remember, probably about 90% of the time gaps get filled. So we need to watch for that. So that wraps up our 6 currency pairs and our analysis for today. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me on a Thursday, June 9th, 2016. Traders, have a great trading day, and always remember to trade smart and not hard. And we'll see you in about 24 hours. Take care, traders. Bye-bye.